Hey, what's up, y'all? Back with another video. So today I want to talk about something I saw on YouTube the other day. I was watching a video from Crypto's News. I know everybody watches Crypto's News. If you don't, I think it's the best channel on YouTube to get pure information. But I was thinking, he actually had put out his title of his video was, when will the bull market continue? And um, the synopsis of the video, or the idea behind that part of the video was, um, consensus last year really set off the consensus conference really set off the bull run last year. Um, I know I had got in before that, and I actually had moved all of my money into Ethereum right before that bull run started. I sold all my Bitcoin and bought into Ethereum because I figured it would have the highest run up, just because of I think it was the speakers that were going on talking at that particular conference, and things like that. Um, so yeah, that really set off the bull market last year. We had some gains up until then. Um, I think Ethereum was probably around $8. In the start of the year, went up to like maybe the 30s before that. I'll have to look back to see exactly. But really, after consensus and everyone had this, realization that it seemed like, blockchain was coming a lot faster than we thought. The price really started to take off then, and I think that's when it went over the $100 mark, or bounced at least up to 80. Um, and then prices just kept going from there for everything. Um, so seeing as I think this last, December to now, with the downturn of the market, I think we blew a lot of steam off. We got a lot of people into crypto. Really got up all the buyers who were going to buy or who were aware of Bitcoin bought already, and now we're just waiting to see where it goes. I think there's a lot of news coming out quietly about Bitcoin, um, just saying that I think it's going to be another bull market coming, and I would expect it to happen the second half of this year. I'm thinking May through June, um, along with consensus. I know the Chinese president just got reelected, so I'm thinking they are going to make some moves on cryptocurrency probably within the next few months. I think really, they just wanted to get things in order or shut it down before the election. I know there was a lot of talk about that when it first happened. Now that he's reelected, they're going to have to start to put in some policies in place to continue this innovation, because I don't, they're not going to abandon it completely. Um, I'm reading a lot of information about the key, working with different aspects of Chinese government. So I'm still really bullish on everything for the second half of the year. Um, I think around May or June is probably when we'll probably pick up a lot. I think end of April could be the very start. I think people will try and get in position to buy the hype around consensus, and I think looking at the lineup of speakers, everyone is not a blockchain expert. There are people from J.P. Morgan, Chamber of Digital Commerce, Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi Alliance. Um, so, someone from the European Parliament. So, if you go on Coindesk.com and check out the consensus site, you can see the list of speakers. Someone from Kick. It's just it's a wide variety of people. And when the market starts to look at these variety of speakers, they go up there, they have their talks, they reinforce the idea that um, blockchain is here to stay. I think we're gonna set off another bull market, and we'll probably take off up until same thing, August, September, somewhere around there. Um, but even seeing that, right now with Bitcoin at $8,000, Ethereum at 575, Litecoin at 150, and Neo at 65. You gotta think, how long ago did we wish for these prices? I remember the day Bitcoin first hit 8,000. I went to a friend of mine's house and I told like, yo, Bitcoin $8,000. $8,000 right now for one Bitcoin. I was so happy. I was so, he was like, wow, he asked me a lot of questions about it. But now, when you see $8,000, you kind of, You see, I remember when Ethereum hit 400, I was so happy, Then when it dropped to 180, it was like, wow. Now it's 575, and it doesn't feel like elation like it did the first time around. And this was just a few months ago. When you've seen it at $1,400 a few weeks back, that's in your mind. You're thinking about that all the time. You're seeing that 1,400. You're doing calculations. You're thinking about all the money you could have cashed out and bought back in lower, and that really is what drives you from appreciating the prices at now. So I'm appreciating these prices. There are a lot of money I left on the table if I had sold a few weeks back, but what can you do? You gotta just at this point, you gotta just ride it out because even though I think it could take until the second half of the year, the later 6 months to pick up, it could pick up earlier. It could be some news to come out earlier which sets off the market, and you don't want to miss it. I think if you had sold a few weeks back, I definitely sold some of my Bitcoin a few weeks back when it was around at 1.17, and then at one point, I think the lowest I sold was 11, 11.5. But if you had sold a few weeks back, I would say we're getting close to a point where we should buy back in. But if you haven't sold yet, I wouldn't sell, and that's just my opinion. We still could take some. I still think we could still feel some downward pressure. I think things could still go down some more, but I think if you can wait to the second half of the year, if we can wait to the end of this year and really see where the market is, it'll really tell us a lot. I think it'll be in a different place from where it is now. We'll look at these prices and wish we could buy in at these prices. So yeah, it's really just a mind game. If you had told someone last year that Ripple would be 64 cents when it was whatever price it was last year this time, I'm sure a lot of people would have bought. If you had told someone Ethereum would be 575 right now from what it was last year, I'm sure a lot of people would have bought. It's just when you see these prices that hold for a day or two, you always think of the possibilities of what you could have did. But the market is going to be what it's going to be for these next few weeks. I was going to take some time off, but I'm comfortable with where it's at. I'm sure it's going to come back. I'm not worried about it. I won't be checking the price like I did when it was going up, waking up first thing every morning, rolling over and grabbing my phone. But it's just part of the game. You can't expect these type of gains without some downturns. It's just part of the game. And we saw a huge bull run last time when Bitcoin gets to $20,000 and everyone is talking about it, and people on YouTube that never spoke about cryptocurrency are speaking about it. That was definitely somewhat bubble. So I think we're in that downward cycle. We're probably flattening out pretty soon. And in these next few weeks, I think end of April is a good time to start looking at should we buy more? Is this a good time to buy? And waiting for that next bull run. So I'll be holding. I'll be holding until then. I'm not selling anything. I believe in the projects I've purchased, um, and I think they're gonna win. I have a figure in my head where I want them to get. Um, and, I'm holding, and I'm making more money on the side. You know, just forget about crypto for a while and find something else to do. Is what I would suggest. So yeah, man, just look at this market. I think second half of the year could really be where we take off. Around that May, June. I think a lot of people thought that, but it's just how things are lining up. I think that's probably a likely scenario, and we should probably start to prepare for that mentally. But yeah, man, thanks for checking out the video. It's another Bitcoin talk. Just my little thoughts on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. If you like the video, hit subscribe, hit the like button down below, leave me a comment. Y'all keep buying that crypto.